Hey y'all, it's me Bassy and welcome back to my channel. I know I keep promising gaming videos, but like I said before, I don't know when they're gonna be coming back because I don't have a gaming PC or anything and my laptop won't be able to handle games, so I'm making this video because this is something I really feel like does need to be talked about because it just seems like no one's talking about it like they should. I, like many others, am a user of Windows. I grew up with it. It's probably one of the best operating systems I've used. But I do have some issues with it. I actually have a list here that I'm looking at of all the apps and stuff do not I think don't need to be involved. Well, I shouldn't say involved, but I mean the apps that are not integral to it. So I'm just gonna be listing off the apps that I think Microsoft should remove or at least change when it concerns Windows. The first one on my list is OneDrive. I know a lot of people are probably gonna say, "Oh, OneDrive is necessary." No, it's not. I think it should be one of those programs that gives you the option to install it. They shouldn't remove it completely. It should just not be automatically pre-installed. Like if it's for business or something, I understand, but at the same time, there are a lot of other options for backing up your files, like Dropbox, or if you're personally like me, I personally use flash drives to back up all my files and stuff that I deem important because I feel that they are much safer to use than things like OneDrive because unlike software like OneDrive, flash drives cannot be hacked unless they are actually plugged into your laptop. I should also make it known that if it's so integral to Windows, why is there literally threads on the Microsoft Ask forums asking how to uninstall it? That's my question. The second point the second point I want to bring up is Nahimic. For those of you who don't know what Nahimic is, it's basically another type of audio driver. And for some reason, Microsoft felt they deemed it necessary to bundle it with Realtek, which has been the audio driver for many Windows PCs for years. I don't understand why they decided this because Nahimic is not necessary if you have something like Realtek. A lot of people don't know this, but if you have two different programs that are supposed to do the same thing, if you have them both running, they will compete with each other, and eventually one or both of them will just not work. You don't need two different audio drivers on one single device. And there is literally a thread on the Microsoft subreddit about how Nahimic isn't a program, it's malware. Because you can't uninstall it. The only way you can get it to not work is disabling it. If you uninstall it, it will just simply be reinstalled once you get an update from Windows. And I don't understand why they decided, oh, let's put this in with Realtek. We'll see how it works. Please don't. My third point is Microsoft Office / Office 365. I get that a lot of people were taught this back in school and stuff, but it's not the only program that offers things like writing documents, PowerPoints, spreadsheets. This is another program that I think should not be automatically pre-installed. It's one I think that people should be given the option to install. I personally don't use Microsoft Office and have actually uninstalled it on my laptop. I use something called LibreOffice, which is super easy to use and it's free. So I just think that Microsoft Office needs to be one of those programs that are not completely removed, but given the option to install. My fourth point is Skype. Skype is not necessary anymore. I get back in the 2000s and stuff, it was like one of the best ways to video call people and other stuff, but there are a lot more programs nowadays, and some that are a lot more reliable than Skype. There's Discord. Honestly, that's actually the only one I know by name. But honestly, I feel like Skype should be heading in the same direction as Internet Explorer. It's, in my opinion, becoming obsolete because there are so many other more reliable video call programs that Skype is not necessary anymore. It needs to be gone. My next point is Internet Explorer. Thankfully, Microsoft has gotten it in their heads that Internet Explorer should not be on Windows anymore because it's obsolete thanks to Edge. My issue with this is that Microsoft has been known to push back the dates for getting rid of Internet Explorer. Right now, it's projected that Internet Explorer will be fully removed from Windows by mid-2022. But that could very easily be pushed back. And even then, even if it does get removed mid-2022, right now it's just sitting on computers taking up space when it's not needed. And I honestly think that they should really start removing it now. Number 6 on my list is games. And I'm talking about like Sudoku, Solitaire, and stuff like that. There are so many computer games out there that hardly anybody plays these anymore. All they do is take up space, and they're not necessary to the functionality of the operating system. They just need to be gone. The next one on my list is the calculator. For a lot of people who don't know, there is actually a calculator app on your laptop that's pre-installed, and it's useless. People literally have calculators on their phones that they can use. There's no reason for it to be there. So please, just Microsoft, get rid of it. It's not needed. Next is all of the 3D related stuff. Microsoft had actually gone through a phase where they were really into like 3D stuff. They have like Paint 3D, 3D Viewer. They have a 3D Objects folder on the laptop. They have a mixed reality portal. They're not needed. Nothing ever came of them. So why are they still on the operating system? Microsoft, please remove these. All they do is take up space. They're not necessary. My next point is Xbox. There is literally a thing on Windows PCs that link it to Xbox, and it's not necessary on a PC. There have literally been people who play Xbox who have even stated that it's not necessary on a PC. Plus, not everyone can afford an Xbox, so why the hell is it on there? There's no need for it. Next is an app called Groove Music. I've never heard of this app before. Apparently it's supposed to be used to play MP3s and stuff, but one, the streaming service it was associated with is discontinued. Two, it's not necessary because people have things like Spotify and stuff. This should not be pre-installed. Please remove it. Next on my list is Maps and Mail. We don't need email apps and map apps on laptops because we can easily reach like Google Maps, email, and stuff through the browser. So we don't need the apps to get to it. Plus, everyone has apps for those on their phone. So why are they necessary on a PC? They're not. Please just remove them. The next on my list is one that I'm really peeved about, and that's temporary files. As you can tell by the name, they're supposed to be temporary, which means they're supposed to be deleted after they've been used up. But what a lot of people don't realize is that this doesn't happen. There are a ton of temporary files that stay after updates and stuff, and there's even files from programs that you uninstall that are left after the program is uninstalled. They're not necessary. All they do is become junk files, which nobody wants, and they take up space. If they're called temporary files, why the hell are they not temporary? Please. And this goes for every operating system for this one. Remove the temporary files, and while you're at it, remove all the bloatware. God. For those of you who don't know what bloatware is, hang on. For those of you who don't know what bloatware is, it's software whose usefulness is reduced because of the excessive disk space and memory that it needs. It's not wanted. It's basically just left over from updates, just like temporary files. All it does is take up space. We don't need it. I'm pretty sure a lot of people who have bought new laptops and stuff have noticed that when you check the how many gigabytes your computer has and stuff, you already notice that a lot of it is already used up, and that's because of the bloatware. That's because of the temporary files that become junk files. Please remove these with each update. They're not necessary, and a lot of people are just gonna end up not wanting to buy your stuff because they're not gonna have the memory they need to do what they want. I'm probably rambling at this point, but yeah, a lot of the stuff that I listed is not necessary. In my opinion, if it's not vital to keeping the operating system running or keeping the computer itself running, there's no need for it. It should either be an optional install or not installed at all. And for stuff like Nahimic, one, fix that shit. If someone wants to uninstall it, they should be able to uninstall it. Two, it should not be installed with another audio driver. Because if both of those are working at the same time, they will freaking kill each other. I'm sorry, this stuff should be common sense. And it just seems like companies... Microsoft, I love you, but come on. It just seems like you and other companies just care too much about putting all these unnecessary apps on your freaking operating system, and you don't care about user experience anymore. Your customer satisfaction and user experience would be much better if these things just were not the way they are. I'm sorry, guys. It just really pisses me off about that. I know some people will probably have different opinions, but that's fine. I just needed to get this off my chest because it's just something that really bugs me about operating systems and stuff. Especially with my new laptop, which I've had for about 4 months now, and already just a bunch of disk space is used up because of the bloatware and shit. So yeah, just had to get that off my chest. Until next time, Bassie's out. Bye.